Combat in the Xenoblade Chronicles games can get pretty complicated, and Future Redeemed is no different. While it's more straightforward than the base game, each character in your party fits a very specific niche that may be difficult to figure out. In this guide, we'll go over the gist of each character and show you the direction to build them in. Feel free to use the chapters if you're looking for a specific character, though be warned that the end of the video will contain post-game spoilers. Matthew, Martial Artist. Matthew's class is Martial Artist, and he's your main damage dealer with a high attack stat and quick auto attacks. His playstyle involves cancelling arts together rapidly as they recharge, then using his talent art to fully charge all of them again and repeating the cycle as long as he can. Aside from straight damage, he's got some pretty good utility as well. His three main arts are Agnian, recharging with auto attacks and allowing him to break an enemy with backspin punch, evading attacks while the animation is happening with Revolt Uppercut, and dealing bonus damage from the front as well as inflict knockback using Mighty Strike. The three Ouroboros arts he can learn are Detonating Hit with AoE in front of him, Raging Force, which has a 50% chance to ignore defense, and Energy Boost to activate the Power Charge buff, improving the damage of his next art. To maximize his talents, we fuse Backspin Punch with Detonating Hit to inflict break on multiple enemies, Revolt Uppercut and Raging Force to add Pierce and Launch to the hit, and finally Mighty Strike with Energy Boost to add Fast Charge on top of the Power Charge, making his arts recharge even faster. At high levels, this makes him deadly in combat and makes for fun and fast playstyle. In his affinity growth, prioritize learning arts cancelling in his second tier, as well as the skills Victor's Combo to keep art recharging after use, and also Flashing Fists. This will have each auto attack come out successively faster and faster, reducing the amount of downtime between arts. Early in the game, you'll want to prioritize fusing for Mighty Boost since Break and Launch can be covered by other party members. As for accessories, equip him with attack boosts and defense piercing bonuses, and maybe an auto attack damage up or aggro reduction for good measure. Battle Manual Volume 1 is also great for chain attack damage if you plan on using him first in each round. As for gems, go for Steel Cleaver, Flowing Form, and Empowered Combo. If your tanks are having trouble covering him, substitute Flowering Form for Disperse Bloodlust. Unfortunately, Matthew's major weakness is actually the sleep status. Just like in the story, he'll oversleep even if you're mashing the buttons. A. Monado Fencer. A can do a little bit of everything. Their class is Monado Fencer, giving them access to quick 2-hit auto attacks that deal ether damage instead of physical. Likewise, their arts will also do ether damage such as Cross Ray, which will also heal the party on hit, Shaker Edge to topple a broken foe, Lost Ray inflicts accuracy down, and finally Skyfoil will inflict attack down. Their last two arts are Light Field to create a Regent Field centered around A, and Sword Mirage to give those close by evasion up. Their main arts are all Kevis aligned, so get a reliable attack like Lost Ray or Skyfoil as quickly as you can for damage. You should also fuse Cross Mirage to add a regen effect to their heal on hit, Lost Edge to make the topple an area of effect, and Skyfield to make the attack down debut also in AoE. A's best feature is their talent art Vision, which will make the entire party virtually invincible for its duration, ending in an incredibly powerful attack that hits all enemies. You can only use this once per battle, twice when it's fully upgraded, so make it count to evade powerful moves or give the team a chance to recover from a big hit. A is very fragile, so make sure to learn their skills to evade attacks or heal themselves for every hit first. Armor Piercing is also pretty useful for certain bosses which resist physical damage, making their ether attacks even more powerful, but your main focus should be on keeping them, and the rest of the party, alive to take advantage of those buffs and debuffs. For accessories, equip a Wing Necklace to recover art charge upon reviving other characters, and healing boosts, attack boosts, or a bit of evasion if they're having trouble staying alive. A's gem setup should be focused on improving their healing and buffs with Life Bearer or Swelling Blessing, but you also can't go wrong with Flowing Form to attack more often, or Refined Incantation if you want to boost debuffs too. You won't be using A very much in chain attacks aside from topples, so give them something like Strategy Manual 3 to increase the rest of the party's TP and guarantee an amazing for that order. Nikol, Machinist. Nikol is your blocking tank, so get him skills and accessories to make his block percentage as high as possible. He's not the best at holding aggro early on, so give him the Perilous Presence gem to instantly attract enemies at the start of battle. Steel Protection and Ultimate Counter Shield round out his gem setup with accessories improving his damage from the front and block rate, as well as something like a Phantom Feather so he can take aggro back if needed. If that's not an issue, give him a Memory Locket so he can revive the healers if they go down. Nikol is a turtle, so his art setup should guarantee he survives the longest in battle. Fuse Whirlwind and Smart Bomb to widen his main aggro gaining AoE move, Blitz Punch and Steady Assault to give him a bit more damage and aggro with a Pierce/Evade move, and finally Motor Lifter and Machine Clap because that's all that's left. Learn Block Counter Assembly and increase his block rate, HP, and overall defense before other skills in his growth tree. This build isn't all that complicated, but it gives him a ton of survivability against even the toughest unique monsters. Glimmer, Kitherode. Glimmer is similarly uncomplicated, focusing mostly on healing and buffs, specifically crit and attack up. Equip Lifebearer, Swelling Blessing, and Refined Blessing to improve the effects of both of those core abilities, and accessories to increase healing and reduce aggro just in case. Also equip a Devotional Necklace. Tactics Manuals Volume 8 can also help in a pinch, healing the entire party for 50% HP upon completing an order. The most important fusion for her is actually Fire Ballad, which places a field attack up, but more importantly gives a crit rate up to the entire party. For our last two fusions, we'll use Garland Hymn for an even bigger heal with evasion up, and Meteor Bloom to stack some debuffs and a DOT on the enemy. Learning Soothing Fire will add a slight healing effect to all of her arts as well, and Rapid Response is extremely useful for revives since Glimmer is unlikely to take aggro and die herself. Shulk, Grand Marshal. Shulk takes after Dunban from his debut title and is the team's evasion tank. As such, you'll want to get his agility stat as high as possible with accessories like Titanium Support, a heavy foot protector, and the Feather Misanga. The Tailwind gem is also a must, and given that he only has one aggro generating art, give him Steel Cleaver and Brimming Spirit to round out his kit. Early on, he'll still have trouble holding the enemy's attention, so learn Right Back at You and Sword of Reprisal from his affinity growth. Our art setup actually gives him a bit of utility on top of maximizing his attack and evasion potential. First off, fuse Monado Rage and Slit Edge to make his taunt and AoE. Then, make Armor Stream to give him an evasion up buff, and Armor Veil as well as break the target. Finally, put Heavy Rush and Monado Purge together to create Heavy Purge, removing all buffs from the enemy and decreasing their accuracy. With this build, he'll be able to work with Nikol and divvy up any group of enemies between the two of them. Rex, Master Driver. 3 words: Double Spinning Edge. This art gains recharge for every critical hit that Rex deals, allowing you to perpetually cancel into the art again and again until he inevitably takes aggro and dies. If you want to break the game, play as Rex. His build will focus on getting his crit rate as high as possible, though if you want him to last a bit longer in battle, add in an agility up gem or accessories like Tailwind and Titanium Support. Otherwise, you'll want an Ice Headband, Ceramic Belt, and Thermo Headgear, as well as the gems Analyze Weakness, Empowered Combo, and Steel Cleaver. Don't bother with reducing aggro generated because Nikol and Shulk simply won't be able to keep up. In his affinity growth, as usual, prioritize learning skills, but don't forget to improve Double Spinning Edge as well. He also needs art canceling for this build to work, and of course any critical plus is a must. As for fusion arts, Rex won't be using many other than Double Spinning Blaze to further increase the art's crit rate, but Rolling Shot is a great option for breaking and toppling an enemy in a single action. Combine this with Dual Blast and Sword Bash for AoE resistance down and launch, and Rex can do an entire driver combo by himself. Finally, to round out his kit, use Tactics Manual 11 for some emergency healing and a chain attack, which can come in surprisingly useful. Unity. For our Unity setup, we'll be tossing out Knockback in favor of some very useful burst and smash moves. You'll want Shulk and Matthew paired up for Monado Crash. This is less important for its burst, and more so for the fact that it will start up to 70 to 100% charged at the beginning of battle. I find normal battles are over too quickly for a Unity to charge, so this will help you end them even quicker and give you some additional loot. In unique monster battles, this is also incredibly helpful to remove Enrage from them temporarily after they reach a certain HP threshold. Next up is Sacred Ray with Rex and Glimmer. Once again, this passive skill is more important than the burst combo as it gives the party a percentage increase in crit rate. I shouldn't have to explain why that's good for Rex. Finally, we have A and Nikol to give us a smash finisher if you need some big damage. That's our guide for the main game, but if you want some extra post-game strategy, well, stay tuned. If you haven't beaten the final boss yet, thanks for watching, hit whatever thumb you like, and stay safe out there. Nael, War Mage. After beating the final boss, one more character will join your party, Nael. Unfortunately, she's not playable. Hopefully that'll be fixed in an update, but we can still customize her kit. Nael even has a higher attack stat than Matthew and deals ether damage to boot. Her main gimmick is applying a random debuff with certain attacks, which isn't particularly useful, but she can still do a ton of damage. She won't use fusion too often unless you turn on the fusion first tactic, but a good setup can be very beneficial. Combine Detonating Ray and Bounding Wave for a high crit-piercing AoE that does more damage from the side. Since she probably won't take aggro, fuse for Double Lightning for some additional damage up at high HP levels. Finally, Demolition Bullet and Compound Force are all that's left, and together they'll inflict a random debuff and bind for good measure. For gems, equip Steel Cleaver and Flowing Form for more damage faster, and either Refined Incantation, Swelling Scourge, or Accurate Grace. The Ceramic Belt is a must in terms of accessories, as well as a Jewel Beetle Gauntlet, since she'll generally stick to the enemy's side. Finally, a Memory Locket can give her some great support, allowing her to revive allies, or something like the Lustrous Arming for even more damage above 90% HP. She can make great use of several manuals, including Battle Volume 7, Volume 10, or 11, but something like Strategy Volume 6 or 20 allow her to provide some buffs to the party as well. You really can't go wrong no matter what you equip her with. Once again, thanks for watching. Hit whatever thumb you like and let us know how your builds are even better than ours. Check out gamingtrend.com for even more on Xenoblade Chronicles, including reviews of 3 and future redeemed, and stay safe out there.